Hey, welcome to Divinely Charmed Tarot. So, we're getting back into Saturn Returns. Saturn, that's the sixth planet. If you haven't already, go check out that introduction to Saturn that I just posted. I'll make sure I link it in this video down below so you can check that out. So, Saturn is the sixth planet. On Saturn, it's only 10 hours and 14 minutes in the day. Saturn is known as the father of time. Father of time brings an end to all things that had a beginning. It teaches you lessons that you must learn in life. Character development. Saturn says, I will give you everything. You will receive your reward only after you have earned it. Only after you have actually done the work. Saturn gives us power and provides us tenacity and perseverance to realize your pure potential. Saturn return takes 29 and a half years. That's how slow moving it is. It's also known as one of the larger planets, like Jupiter. Saturn is our destiny. It rules fate. The things that we cannot escape, the payment we must make for what we receive. Karma, lessons. So I thought it was funny. Over the weekend, I was actually watching Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass again. And, you know, the time guy that she has to go back in time and try to get the chronosphere. It was giving me Saturn energy. It was cracking me up. He was like, I do not have time for you to not be able to compel short or long sentences. But then he's like taking too long to describe everything. And I thought this was hilarious because I'm always like making up rhymes and stuff to my friends. Like I'll do like little freestyles to their names or just, I like poetry. I've always have. I've liked writing. I just always haven't been a writer. Usually when I was down and out in my most deep depression, I would write. Now it's a lot beautiful to write about lighter things. But there's no light without the darkness. Anyways, so in Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass, he says, the magnificent grand clock of all time. He is me and I am he, and all that was or ever shall be. I thought up that poem. I was like, oh my God. And then he's like, so being time, I must give some of myself for you to have of me, because I am time, the father of time. So that's just a little bit of funniness that I was giggling, but I had an aha moment, He says, you cannot change the past, though I dare say you might learn something from it, my dear, or my lady. And he's like, the younger generation. So yeah, you cannot change the past, but you can learn something from it. Saturn is all about learning. So you can break free. I'm breaking free. Oh yeah, we were meant to live for so much more. We were meant to live for so much more. Sorry, your ears are bleeding. But have we lost ourselves? Somewhere we live inside. We were meant to live for so much more. Saturn returns 29 years, stripping away everything I was to become everything I am meant to be. Running, hiding in fear, self-sabotage, and endless tears. Elevating and ascending, ready for a new beginning. Growing from the pain, glowing from the healing. Releasing all shame, I'm loving the feeling. 29 years, Saturn returns. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to go into each elemental and break down a little bit of the information for each zodiac in the elemental. So let's get into it. Fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Fire signs. Just like fire itself, fire tends to be passionate, dynamic, and temperamental. Fire can keep you warm, or it can do great destruction. While fire burns out quickly, without fuel to keep it going, it can also regenerate its powers from the ashes. A single spark can set off a forest fire. As a result, fire signs need to be nurtured and managed carefully, my dear. Be careful with me. That's right. Be careful with me. All right, fire signs. So, in your chart, if you have a fire sign that falls in your Saturn placement, that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So overall, Saturn in your fire sign, or in a fire sign, excuse me, will probably emphasize the most importance of learning how to slow down, not rushing through everything, and doing things by the book rather than doing things your own way. People with Saturn in a fire sign are very independent and action-oriented, but they can cut corners and be selfish and rash at times. Saturn teaches you how to consider others in your decisions and not be so independent that you're actually creating chaos in your life. So Aries, when it comes to your Saturn return occurring, it's all about lessons around competition and autonomy, that's self-government, which it's all about that Mars energy. Leo, lessons for you for your Saturn return, lessons around pride and ego, of course, the sun. And then we have Sagittarius. That's lessons around expansion and growth. Water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You are intuitive, emotional, and very sensitive, mysterious like the ocean. You may be refreshing or drown others out with your depths. But security is what you crave most. After all, water needs a container or it dries up and disappears. You need to be handled with care. You're psychic, intuitive. Water signs. A Saturn return will look for you if it does fall under Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. It's going to be all about emotional maturity for you. It may feel particularly heavy with deep feelings, but that's the point. People with their Saturn in a water sign will learn how to get some emotional maturity and control, not just reacting or getting stuck in fear all the time. They learn how to get emotional discipline, and rigor. So Cancer specifically, your Saturn return is going to be all about lessons around security and vulnerability. Scorpio, that's lessons around intimacy and trust. Pisces, lessons around spirituality and emotions and your boundaries. That's versus spirituality and emotions versus your boundaries. Emotional maturity. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Earth signs keep it real. They are one of the most grounded signs on this planet. They remind us that we need a practical and logical plan, a foundation, a solid foundation. Slow down. They're loyal, stable. Earth signs stick by their people through hard times. At their worst parts, they can be materialistic at times and too focused on the surface of things rather than dig into the depths, like a water sign. So if your Saturn does fall under a earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, your Saturn return may push you to get out of your comfort zone. It's time to try something new. People with Saturn in an earth sign may be sheltered and not take risks. They're good boys or good girls. Saturn return will allow you to learn to find your own inner authority. Step up into a leadership position. It's time to lead. Taurus, lessons for you for your Saturn return is all about finances and stability. Capricorn, lessons around success and legacy. And Virgo, that's lessons around perfection and control. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Air signs are all about action, idea, movement. It's the winds of change, baby. You hear that? It's the winds of change. Just like a strong gust of wind hits you, you cannot help but move. While some within their ranks may be considered a true life airhead, others are powerful as a gravity-defying G-force. Air signs bring everyone a breath of fresh air into this stale world. Like the breeze, you can't like a breeze can't quite catch them, and you never know where they'll drop you once they sweep you up. Oh, it will almost always be an adventure with air signs. That's true. You'll never get bored. All right, air signs. If your Saturn falls under Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, a Saturn return for you may look like it can be a little fast and loose. You can be fast and loose with your words, kind of scattered in a million different directions, which of course is typical air energy, literally, like I was just talking about. Saturn return can help you work on this. May push you to focus and come up with a plan before you act. Get practical, grind yourself down, think before you act. It provides wisdom. Okay, so Gemini specifically, lessons for you for Saturn return is going to be lessons around communication and your peers. That's the boundaries that you have to put up. You have to be aware. Libra, lessons around partnerships and compromise for your Saturn return. It's okay to compromise. Aquarius, this is a time for lessons around innovation and community. Saturn returns 29 years. Good luck.